once again. Right, I've been to see the landowner of the new permission, and he's told me about another field I can go in, which is this one. I think it's part ridge and furrow. Fairly big field, possibly two fields that's been split into one big one. I've had a few mule tubes so far, wonderful. And I've just had my first reasonable signal, so let's show you this little item down here. Sorry for the wind noise, it is very windy. So this was a 13-ish signal, not too deep, maybe 6 inches at the best, well, probably 5 inches really. And we've got a little pistol ball. It's a bit flattened. Oops, go away, grass. Oh, there you go. Yes, so a little pistol ball. That's the only old thing I've had so far. I've probably been here about, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour, but there's plenty more to go at. So fingers crossed we'll come up with something else. Well, I've just been digging a 17-ish signal, 8 inches deep. It took a bit of getting out really because there was quite a few stones in the ground, so I was having to sort of pick around them with a screwdriver. You can just see the imprint in the ground. Can you see that? It says sticking his hand in the way. You can see a shape of something. You can probably guess what it is now. I've got a pewter spoon. Obviously broken both ends, but that's the most complete pewter spoon I've ever found. So I'd imagine it's going to be post-medieval. But yeah, for a pewter item, that's not a bad little find at all. I'm quite happy with that. Since the last bit of video, I've had another 3 musket balls, roughly in the same area as well. I think most of them have been flattened, so they've been fired. So there's definitely been something going off. That's to the right of me at the moment. I can't show too much, folks, because it's going to make it too obvious to some of the locals where I am. But I am on the edge of a very historic village, a bit away from it now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else turns up from this field, if anything, as long as it's not moo tubes. Right, I've just had my lunch break. I've been by that tree over there. It's very nice. Now the bit of ground that I've been detecting so far is on the edge of the field, just actually to the other side of the ridge and furrow. So it was more sort of rough land, but I've just come onto the ridge and furrow properly now. We've got a 20 signalled, or 2021. It was about 6 inches maybe, and it's in there, and I'm recording it just in case. Yeah, 2021. It's a shotty, bloody shotty. I've been encircled by horses here. There's a few of them. I've got to be careful because my detector's on the floor. Hello. Beauty, yeah, you don't you? Standing on my coil. I just had a signal down here. It was a jumpy one really. It's 11 up to 25, so I've dug it up. It was about 6 inches deep. I don't know what it is. Little tiny thing. Let's have a look at that later on. No, go steady now, go steady, go. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll put it in the bag anyway and take a look later on. Maybe nothing, maybe something. Hey, what do you think? Well, the horses have got bored now and walked off. Don't blame them, not finding much. A couple of moo tubes since the 2021 signal. It's in there. Hope it's the last one of these I had was a shotgun cap, believe it or not. Same signal as well. So there's something in here. It seems to be a coin. I don't know what it is. First coin of the day, whatever that is. How deep was that? Not very deep, about 5 inches I'd say. don't even know if that's modern or not. Going by the edge, I'd say it's possibly modern. I'll give that a bit of a brush and I'll bring you back shortly. Well, I'm still no wiser. I can't see any detail on it really. It's about the size of an old 5p piece. I don't know what that is. I think I'll have to get a toothpick on that later on and see if any detail pops up. No, don't know what that is at all. Right, anyway. I've jumped fields at the moment. I mean, another one, I've got to give it a quick try. This is up on the hillside. I've had a couple of more moo tubes again. They're quite common on these fields. Anyway, this is an 1819 signal. Not a coin. Looks like it could be a copper spoon end or fork end or something like that. Quite a chunky one. I suppose post-medieval, but I don't know really. Can't see anything on it. Any markings. Oh, actually, there might be something there. I can't see it with my own eyes, I can't tell what it is. If you can. Yep, right, there we go. Still a bit windy, so I'm sorry for the wind noise. It's just a quick recce in this particular field. I'm not going to be in here long at all. Just had a sort of 17-18 signal. Just a bit of lead, but it seems to have some marks on it. I don't know if they're just cut marks or scratches or whether it's some sort of decoration. Possibly cut marks. Looks like it would have been a fairly thin piece of lead. I'll try and straighten that out later on and get a better look at that. Probably put it in some hot water and see if it'll make it a bit more pliable, I think. Yeah, there might just be cut marks, but something on it there. Right, I've popped back to this field that I was in the last few videos. I've had some nice little finds here, plenty of George and stuff. Nice trade weight from over here somewhere. I've probably only got about an hour before the sun goes down. I'm just near the entrance to the field, and I've had a 19 signal, very loud, very shallow actually. It's only just there, and it's that thing. I've got a lead animal. I don't know how old that would be, but I wasn't expecting that today. That's all right. That's not a bad little find. Probably somebody's toy back in the days gone by. Give that a clean up later on. Good. I'm right by the side of this water trough. Now just here is where I usually park the car. I've left it outside the gate this visit. I'm just scanning the ground here on the trough, and I've had a really screaming 31 signal, very loud, well, very high pitched indeed. Quite shallow as you can see. And we've got a big old chunk of lead, and I think that's probably a palm guard. Circular-ish. I think, can you see that? There seems to be some scratch marks in there, or cut marks. So quite probably a palm guard. Something like that. Don't know how old it would be. Maybe somebody watching can perhaps give me a clue on that. Difficult to date lead. Great. Still by the entrance to the gate, I just had another signal, just an inch below the surface. And I think we have a bag seal here. It's quite a chunky one, bag seal or a cloth seal. I've tried to have a look at it with a magnifying glass, and I think I can just make out something on it, possibly a date actually. But I'll have to have a good look at that later on. I think it's a seal by the look of it. The wire would have gone through there and come out these two holes at the bottom. So a bag seal or a cloth seal, but it's quite, like I say, it's quite a chunky one, that. Nice little find. Right folks, we've got a 21-22 signal. I thought I might as well film this one, although the last one I filmed with a similar signal turned out to be a shotgun cap, so hoping it's not that. Just about there. Excuse me, something in my mouth there, don't know what it was. Right, let's get the digging tool into that. Aha! I do see something. It's not a shotty, it's not a coin either. We've got under the harness ring. Oh, excuse the camera work, folks. A good signal that. About 6 or 7 inches deep, I think, that one. Yeah, first one today. I don't mind finding those. Good. Right, we've got a nice loud 21 signal down here in this hole. Let's give it a go. Nope. It's going to be lead or something else. Yeah, see something. We've got a buckle. Let's check that hole. No, that's it. Let's bring it around there a bit. There we go. So most of the finds from this field have been Georgian 1700s, early 1800s, so I suppose this is going to be a similar date really. First buckle of the day. Brilliant. No pin. But that's not a bad find at all. Great stuff. Right, we've got a 16-ish signal. If I was to guess, say possibly a bit of lead. Oops, move you around a bit, there you go. Must be small, whatever it is. I'm not seeing, oh there we are. Is it a button? No, it's not. I've got a coin of some sorts, I think. Sorry folks, there you go. Quite thin that. I'll just give that a brush and bring you back in a moment. Well, it's very worn, a bit crusty as well. So probably another Georgian coin. I think maybe George II. Don't know if that'll be a farthing or a halfpenny, I'm not sure. May never find out. Still nice to find a coin. Yeah, it's a bit lumpy on the back, but not to worry. It is what it is. Okay, we've got a 2122 signal down here. What's that? That bit of junk. Just there. Is it a button? I think it's a button. Oops. Let's come down this way a bit. Yeah, it's just a button, folks. Oh well. At least it's not a 4-holer. Yeah, looks very plain. There we go. I'm just detecting under these trees. I don't think the camera will show it, but it's getting quite dark now, so the film may be a bit grainy. I sort of apologise for that. And we've just had a little signal down here. And we've got a rather nice little George V halfpenny. Well, the bust is nice, the back not so much, it's a bit warm. Oh, actually that's not too bad really. Can't actually see the date on it. But that's lovely, lovely little coin. Great stuff. I think this could be my last signal for this outing. Hi folks, right, here we have the roundup. We've got a few bits of scrap down here. That's just a part of a key, I think. Not an old one either, not really anyway. A couple of bits of copper. We had a copper spoon end, and I think these are post-medieval. I think most of the finds are post-medieval really. We have a palm guard. There are some cut marks in there, so that would have been used to protect your hand while you were cutting something or stitching something or making something, I suppose. No idea on date on that, no idea. We have a lead cow. I did have a look on the finds.org website, and again it could be post-medieval, but it could be later. But this is a solid cast one. I think some of them are hollow cast and they tend to be a bit more recent, so there's a possibility that might be an older one. Yeah, different find that. That's that one. Chunk of lead there, don't know what it was used for. I suppose it could have been just like a lead rod and they just snip bits off when they needed it. Piece of brass or bronze there. Just looks like scrap really, that. A couple of buttons. The pewter spoon, which is probably 1700s, mid to late perhaps. Yeah, broken both ends, but still I was very happy with that little find. Great stuff, that's that. Musket balls. Now then, these all weigh about 22 grams, and according to the finds.org website, that's about the right sort of weight for a 17th century carbine bullet or ball. Now I mentioned in the videos that I think they're doing fire, but I'm not 100% sure because I suppose they could have been damaged while in the ground. But even so, they're interesting little finds, these, because they're all found fairly close to each other. And we've got the smaller one as well, which is weight-wise fits more with the pistol shot, but it's quite a big one. It's a little bit lighter than these other musket balls. That's those. There you have the buckle, which again is probably 1700s. It's a bit scruffy, that one, but still a welcome find. I have one of these, either a harness ring or a suspension loop for clothing, you know, hanging from a belt. Can't really see any signs of wear on that, so that would lead me to think that it's probably not from a horse harness or a bridle, unless it was lost when it was quite new. Yep, don't mind finding those at all. Now then, this crumpled lead item, well, I straightened it out, I put it in some hot water and bent it, or straightened it bit by bit, and it is part of a sundial. That's quite an unusual find for a lead item, for me anyway. It's the first one I've ever found. Again, I've had a look on the PAS website. Dates, I suppose it's difficult to be exact, but could be sort of late 1600s, 1700s perhaps. But either way, that's quite an unusual find. Now the bag seal, I've had a heck of a job trying to see anything on this. I've tried all sorts. I've finally resorted to going over it with a soft lead pencil to darken it. I can just make out some letters on there, and I think at the top it says BASI, but obviously most of it's missing. Oh, I think it's a bag seal anyway, because it's got a couple of holes in the bottom there and a larger one there, so I can imagine there would have been a loop of wire passed through there. I can just make out a date. I don't know if you can see it. Is that the right way up? Could be that way. I think that says 1852. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this really in the video. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't found anything more than that. It's quite a big chunky one, but it's a lot thicker than the ones I normally find. So if you have any info or can help with this, please do comment below. That's that. Coins. The George V halfpenny. Can't get a date off that. It's worn off right at the bottom. But it's early 1900s. Another very worn coin there. You can just make out a bust facing left, so I think this will be a George II farthing. So sort of early mid 1700s. A couple of other farthings here. And I think these are probably from both George III's. Again, they're both very worn. One of them you can just make out the bust facing to the right. The other one I can't, which is odd because that one's a lot thicker than this one. So unless they were produced at different times or whether they changed them, I don't really know. I see Britannia somewhere. There we are. On the back of there. And there's a partial date on the bottom, 1770 something. Can't quite make out what. The other one, yeah, you can just about see Britannia there. So I think that's a 17 on the bottom, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I think they're probably both George III's. Now then, do you remember that odd item when I was surrounded by the horses? Right, well, I posted some photos on detectinghub.co.uk, and Kath, aka Oxgirl, suggested it could be a 17th century farthing token. Well, I've picked it apart with my fingernail, and she's absolutely right, it is. I can just make out the initials there, YIA. Don't exactly know what they all stand for. There's some, sorry about the camera work, there's some lettering which is just visible, partial. Anyway, it actually said, it would have said originally Kingston upon Hull. So it's not a million miles away from me. So that's a farthing token, and it dates from 1666. So that's an interesting little find, that one. And I thought it was a locket because it was fused together like this, both sides completely shot as far as I can tell. And so I picked it apart, and there we are. Now, May not be a locket, it may just have been two metal items that fused together, or it could have been made into a locket. I really have no idea. Yeah, but there we go. Nice little find, that. Right folks, that's it for another week. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please do post any comments down below. It's always good to read them, and I appreciate your help on any other finds and bits and pieces that I come across. Sometimes get the IDs wrong, so yeah, please keep posting away. So until next time, take care, happy hunting.